Fabrizio Romano gives a big update on Man United's transfer plans ahead of the January window. 3 positions being looked at. Some of the January news is good, some of the January news is not so good, but we're going to break it all down for you in the next 10 minutes. We've got some updates on a new takeover plan. Is it going to be Paul Mitchell? Is it going to be Dan Ashworth? Is there going to be changes to Ratcliffe's deal? Big update, Ericsson back, the latest on Lissandro Martinez, and more as well. So please do hit that like button if you haven't already, and of course subscribe down below if you're new. This is the late night news roundup, everything United news in the last 24 hours. So Fabrizio Romano went on the United Stand YouTube channel today and gave a bit of an interview and update. And he said ahead of the January window, United looking at a centre-back, then a forward, then potentially a possible late loan deal. We know that this could also be influenced by Donny going, by Sancho going, if Martial going. We know Man United want a centre-back. We know they want another striker. We know that this will be influenced by who's available, funds, and who is sold. We know of those centre-backs. Apparently one of the ones we're looking at now is Euro, and the other one has been Todibo. You know what I was thinking though? I watched Kim Min-jae play the other day. Still fuming we didn't get Kim Min-jae, but Romano said he think they'll look for opportunities in January, but then a big centre-back in summer. So he's thinking maybe a smaller centre-back in January and a big centre-back in summer, because we do need 2 centre-backs. We need cover for Martinez at left centre-back, but we also need a right centre-back. For me, Todibo or Diamonde would be perfect, and then maybe like Inacio to cover Martinez would be great, although that could be a little bit pricey. We won't get both Diamonde and Inacio as they're both at Sporting, but Romano's made it clear, look, we are looking at centre-back, but if you want a big name centre-back, it might be in the summer ahead of January. It was then said by Alexis Bernard that Man United, Liverpool and Man City are in increasingly concrete discussions with Lenny Euro and Lille. And now I'm not going to act like I was an expert about Lenny Euro, but I did watch a little bit of his game versus PSG, where this guy was absolutely incredible. He's born in 2005. He's only just turned 18 years of age, and he put in an absolutely brilliant performance versus PSG. He looks like the next Real Madrid kind of player, to be honest, but he's having a fantastic season. If you get linked to him more, of course, I'll do some videos on him, some scouting on him. I think he's a great young player. This guy could be the next elite centre-back, 100% from what I'm reading, from what I'm hearing. Obviously, he was great against PSG, but 18 years of age, I do think United probably just need someone that's like 22, 23 to come in. I keep saying that United need to sign players aged between about 22 and about 26 to come into the club, those sort of at the start of their prime or entering their prime that's ready. But this guy looks like a baller, and look, I think he'll probably go to Man City or Real Madrid, and United's name will be linked to him, but you never know. In terms of, obviously, the transfers as well, Fabrizio Romano, and this is less exciting news, confirmed we spoke to Werner, Girassi and Marlin in terms of an attacker, but it could depend on Martial. So he says we're looking at centre-backs, and we're also looking at these 3 strikers, and obviously maybe potential other loan deals. Casemiro and Varane have been reported heavily about leaving in January, especially with Murta going to Saudi Arabia to discuss some stuff. There's question marks if that's linked. But Fabrizio Romano has said there's nothing with Casemiro and any other club at the moment. He remains an important part of Ten Hag's squad. And I've been saying this to you guys for a while. It's the crap sources that are saying Ten Hag's going to fall out with Casemiro and he's leaving. All the good sources have made it clear he is in the plan. He is happy at United. He's not going to be sold in January. And that's what I've been hearing from people as well. I think Casemiro, maybe he goes in the summer if the big offer's there. We know with Ratcliffe coming in and Blanc coming in, United are trying to get rid of some of the highest wage players, which we're going to discuss in my live stream tomorrow. But I think Casemiro is very happy. In regards to the transfer outs, and this is where I want to get in a bit of a rant, it was said that Rafael Varane wants to stay at United, which is good, but United could be forcing him out. We're going to get into more detail about that in tomorrow's live stream. It was also said that RB Leipzig are interested in Jadon Sancho, but his high salary is a talking point, said CFC Bayern. We know that Juventus, we know that a lot of German clubs like Bayern Munich, not Bayern Munich, but RB Leipzig and Borussia Dortmund are looking at Sancho, but because of his high wages, no one really wants to take it on. Basically, everyone knows United are incompetent at selling. United, you can mug off in the transfer market. United need to get rid of this guy because he's not going to play. Every club just wants a way to get Sancho and not pay his wages, which I think is ultimately going to happen in January. He goes on loan and no one pays his wages, and then ultimately we lose him on a free, and it will be the worst signing in United history. Feels like that. It was also said Juventus and German clubs are waiting to explore a move for Jadon Sancho, but no official offer now. Depending on how Man United wants to structure a deal. It'll be interesting to see what happens. There's teams interested in Sancho because he's such a good player and he's available for very nice deal. But I've been hearing a lot of big teams have been put off with Jadon Sancho's attitude, and Harry's responded to this Ten Hag situation. A lot of big teams have kind of been put off by it, which might be why he's not got people lining up for him. It's just one or two clubs, because ultimately United will pay his wages to go out on loan. But this was the news that really wound me up. This was the news that is the main talking point of today's video. And this is not just this story. There's about hundreds, there's like 10 good credible sources, particularly linked to Spurs, basically confirming Tottenham are in talks with Todibo. Some suggesting that Tottenham are confident they can get Todibo, and that Tottenham are having talks with this guy's ahead of a January move. And considering we lost out on Kim Min-jae at £40 million, about the Ten Hag really wanted, and then Todibo was second choice, and we were on the verge of getting Todibo before obviously Maguire to West Ham fell through, I'll be really frustrated if that's another player that we want that goes to a rival. Harry Kane we didn't get, but that was difficult. Okay, Kim Min-jae we wanted, that he went to Bayern. I guess it wasn't a direct rival. But Ten Hag's wanted a lot of players and they've not come to United. And it's very, very frustrating if this is another player that goes to Liverpool or Spurs or someone like Gakpo, like Gravenberch. Now we've got, looks like Todibo's going to go to Spurs, you know, Timber's gone to Arsenal. There's just all these sort of things going about. And it's so frustrating because Ten Hag wanted Todibo. I think Todibo would be great because we need players that are able to cover a lot of ground, and I would love Todibo at Manchester United. I really, really would. Ten Hag really wants him, but this is another opportunity where the Glazers are going to definitely let a key target, a key player, go to rivals. And this won't be the first time a key player goes to rivals. Julian Alvarez was available 2 years ago, £14 million, and we let Man City take him. It's so frustrating because I feel like time and time again there's some really good deals there. It's not like Todibo's 80 million, it's a joke. He'll be £35 million. There's always good deals in January, like Julian Alvarez 40 million, Todibo 35 million. There's always these good deals in the January transfer window for Manchester United to do. And guess what we do? We go and let these key players go to rivals. Time and time again, key players are going to rivals, and it just winds me up. I'll do a bit of rant about it tomorrow. I'll probably do a midday live show. So if you are not subscribed, subscribe. If you are subscribed, put the post notification bell in, because we'll discuss all of that kind of stuff in tomorrow's live show. But I do quickly want to get into the Takeover news. It was said by Samuel Lucas that breaking Newcastle United sporting director Dan Ashworth is the Ineos Group's prime choice to assume the role at Man United, with the group open to retaining football director John Murtough. It said the sources say Murtaugh's situation is very separate to Arnold, but it has been said that, you know, while it seems to be Paul Mitchell, it's basically been saying the new plan is actually Dan Ashworth. Can they poach him from Newcastle because of his relationships with Blanc, who's coming in, because of sort of Jim Ratcliffe's life for Ashworth? I don't think he's going to leave Newcastle for United. You've got the stability of Newcastle owners compared to the Glazers. He's going to get freedom to do what he wants at Newcastle. But with Ineos' plan to bring Potter in and Ashworth in, it does add up a little bit. I don't know if he'll leave Newcastle for us, but it's interesting. But that is the new plan. He seems to be wanted ahead of the likes of Paul Mitchell, which is interesting there. But Dan Ashworth's done a fantastic job, and I wouldn't say no to him in the slightest. Romano did say he's appreciated by many people at Ineos, but it is nothing advanced. He suggests that United news is just sort of being over-exaggerated there for maybe clicks, that while United are looking at this guy, nothing's as advanced as some of the media reporting. And that's probably because the takeover's not done, that nothing will advance till the takeover's done and announced. And in terms of the takeover being done and an announcement, Ben Jacobs said all parties are working towards Sir Jim Ratcliffe's 25% stake in Man United being announced this week. However, there are no guarantees. It all depends on the next 24 to 48 hours. It's very complicated. Legal transactions is what was said as well. So, I mean, I don't think we're going to get an announcement to about March at this rate, to be honest. We get told every week it's going to be announced this week, and it's not. But we do have some positive news in regards to the latest injury front. Christian Eriksen returned to training at Man United today. Amad Diallo is understood to be next in line for a comeback, followed by Mason Mount. Tyrell Malacia and Alessandro Martinez and Casemiro are the last ones expected back for United. So it's basically been said Eriksen's back, Amad's essentially back, Mount's coming back very soon, and then Malacia, Martinez and Casemiro will be expected back. They're expected back late December. And it has been said by Romano that Alessandro Martinez is recovering well, and it will be good because we'll have most of our bulk back by December, and we'll have Casemiro and Martinez back by December, and by that time, obviously Amrabat goes to AFCON and Onana goes to AFCON. But it's said by Romano that United are very confident in Bayindir. I've heard a lot of praise of Bayindir. I know he's been really good for Turkey in international competitions. United are very much behind Bayindir. They've got a lot of praise for him. And I think Kobbie Mainoo can step up into that Amrabat role, and we'll probably have Casemiro back ahead of AFCON. So ending on a positive note, not happy if Todibo goes to Spurs. Do you think that Euro guy that we're linked to is good? But I think Todibo is a good deal there in January, because I feel like in January we're always going for the Donny Marlins, the Werners, players that are going to just do a bit part job to the end of the season. Why don't we go for someone like Todibo that's going to be here in the next 3, 4, 5 year plan? Someone that Ten Hag clearly wanted, because we approached him in the summer and it was close. We've missed out on Kim and Jay. We're missing out on Todibo, it feels like. But anyway, smash a like, smash a subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.